down. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Barry the pass to Paul. Dishes it to Towns. No good. And it's Montreal the other way. Here's Gervin. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Damian Lillard's checked in for Montreal. And now Paul pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
Now here's Lillard. And there's the feed to Thompson. Out to the wing. Lillard against Paul. Montreal again missing.
And, you know, coaches just love players who they can count on to give that effort defensively.
And he clearly is one of those guys, Greg. We saw it right there. Nice work forcing that miss.
Now here's Paul. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
Karl-Anthony Towns.
And the first one comes. And Montreal will go for a different look here. Andre Drummond's checked in for Shaq. Duncan comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Anthony's checked in for Gervin. And John Wall's subbed in for Klay Thompson.
And he clearly doesn't like what's going on out there right now.
Would you? I mean, how could he like what's happening? Really had to take a time out there and try to figure out a way to derail their momentum.
1:29 left here in the opening quarter. Outside Anthony. Richmond against Wall. Knocked away. Payton kicks to Rice. Outside, Davis. Goes up on the wing. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Vancouver.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also, they're jumping on a lot of turnovers, making sure they turn them into points at the other end.
Now, here's Lillard, following the miss by John Wall. Duncan drawing the double team. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Here's Payton. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Davis. Feeds to Towns. Rice kicks to Richmond. No good from outside. Montreal trails by 13. Duncan outside. Lillard dishes to Drummond. And there's the 3-second violation. Payton outside with 1 on the clock. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Vancouver leads by 13. And don't go away. We'll be back momentarily. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And when you consider how Vancouver is doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Really active hands early on here as they're able to acquire several steals.
Well, they've really been aggressive, guys, on defense, and it's paid off, so why stop? Keep it up.
On the court right now for Montreal, they've got Drummond. Van Exel is out there with Thompson. Then it's Anthony. And it's Wallace in at the 4 spot. And Thompson kicks to Wallace. Here's Drummond. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
It's stolen by Van Exel. Now Montreal moving it up. Here's Thompson. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
It'll be Vancouver with their first time out of the game here.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
And Montreal will go for a different look here. O'Neal's checked in for Andre Drummond. Aldridge comes in for Ben Wallace. Gervin's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And Parker subbed in for Ben Exel. Now here's Towns. He's got 8. It's deflected. And Thompson to Gervin. Shaq passes to Gervin. The kick out to Aldridge. Thompson right side. The second chance effort.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
It's his first trip to the line. And he makes the first. Vancouver making a switch here. Davis is checked in. And so Thompson nails both of them.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Paul dishes to Davis. Kicks it out to Paul. Vancouver working the ball around now. To the middle. 5 on the clock. And a wide open look for James. It's good from long range. LeBron's got 5.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Here's Shaq. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
My goodness, he sure can get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're right.
I tell you what, he is an imposing finisher around the rim. He makes it look a little too easy.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
Damian Lillard's checked in for Klay Thompson. So he gets them both. Shaq in the high post. Excellent D from Howard.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
Lillard attacking. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim. And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, well, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Pass to Howard. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
So for Montreal, Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Shaq. Anthony comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's John Wall in for Parker. Now, here's Lillard. Anthony kicks to Wall. Pass to Gervin. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
Yeah, great concentration there, Greg. Hung in there. He didn't let that contact throw him off at all. Stayed focused on the rim, knew he was going to get hit, and still was able to finish.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Lillard. And he gets the bucket.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
It's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Yeah, foolish play. He's got to be thinking out there.
Which he clearly wasn't on that play. Or maybe he was thinking just about something other than basketball.
Well, speaking of thinking, back home, guys, we call that a good old-fashioned brain freeze.
Towns, he's checked in for Davis. Derrick Rose is checked in for Montreal.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And Towns drops them both.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Boy, it certainly appears to be the case, Greg. I mean, they've spent a lot of time at the foul line this quarter, and that's the result of attacking the rim and being physical.
And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Yeah, big blunder there, and that could really cost them.
Yeah, and the timing of it was bad, too. I mean, they're trying to cut down and cut into the lead. Just a tough, bad break there.
A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. It's Vancouver leading by 17. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K. Sports. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
And he just went off in those first two quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
We've got Paul. Howard is out there with Towns. Then there's Barry. And it's James in at the 3 spot. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. Aldridge kicks to Thompson. Parker against Paul. Parker passes to O'Neal. Makes it off the glass. O'Neal's got 4 points in the quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
There's a good screen. A well-timed shot fake got the defender off the ground right there.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
Now a timeout called by Vancouver.
Ladies and gentlemen, dance team.
.90 seconds now into the second half. Paul passes to Barry. James against Aldridge. The drive by James. There's the dish to Howard. And stolen by Aldridge. And Thompson kicks to Parker. outside Aldridge. He dishes it to Gervin. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. Gervin's got 5.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
They're all about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here. They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
Montreal calls timeout. So for Montreal, Duncan, he's checked in for Shaq, and Damian Lillard is subbed in for Tony Parker. Lillard attacking. Duncan outside. It's Gervin on the wing. Thompson outside. Connects from three-point range. Thompson's got 7 points. Vancouver leading by 10. Paul kicks to Howard. Gervin with the steal. And out of bounds is Vancouver gains possession.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
And Vancouver with some changes. Rice is checked in, and it's Richmond in for Barry. And then for Montreal, Ben Wallace, he's checked in for Aldridge. And Anthony subbed in for Gervin. Ice. And a big-time jam right there.
That's a big boy dunk right there. Grown man sledgehammer dunk.
That was a violent attack on the rim.
Enough said on that one.
The screen from Thompson. Out to Anthony. Thompson outside. Clock at 6. Some nice passing by Montreal here. And the shot is good. Duncan's got his first points in this one.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And I'd be interested to know just how many of these attempts have come from inside of 5 feet.
Here's Towns. And he can't bank that one in. Lillard attacking. Duncan at the elbow. 11 feet away. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Paul outside. He feeds it to Rice. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Lillard with it, and it's Howard picking him up. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lillard.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Porzingis, he's checked in for Vancouver. Payton comes in